Greetings guys, this is Blazerich. Hope your Saturday's doing well and hopefully your Friday was decent too. So we're hunting through running these new sites again. Trinity spies Rattlesnake gets initial tackle here. I come in the bar guest, get long point, I'm like, sweet. And I mess up here, boys. I'm looking at him here looking for MGD spill. I should have blinged the scram on this bar guest and I was super scared of getting close here. So I know that this is somewhat of a PvP fit Rattlesnake. He very much has a scram here. So I don't want to get too close here. I'm orbiting at like 20k. I should be doing like the manual piloting and all this, but I'm just super not confident in myself, man. So initially orbit at 20k, super thing with the long point. I end up seeing him starting the MGD cycle, and then I believe I try and approach here, but just because of the T2 scram, I'm not able to get it quick enough. So I think I'll bring that T2 scram to say something like a Caldari Navy or Republic Fleet. The long point is blinged. We do have a Cal Navy on this, but we do end up getting them back. Now, I was kind of spooked in brawling this, because I know this Rattlesnake's going to do a lot of DPS, and I'm going to go under gate guns here. Because I don't ping initially. I just get web and grapple, and I just stay on him, so I'm taking gate guns as well as tanking his DPS. I am running a crystal set with this Raven, and I believe like strong blue pill, so I am tanking very nicely, and we do have a little Logi on the way, in the way of a Sarmasad. I believe that's how it's pronounced, so I just need to hold out till then. I'm tanking okay, but it is real rough, man. Rattlesnake DPS on top of, I think it's about 400 DPS. It's what sentries do, but I ping off at this point because we end up muting him out, which is good because once I get back on grid, I won't have to deal with the sentry guns anymore. Just the Rattlesnake's DPS, which is still quite rough. Our Logi has also arrived, so I'm not too much in a worry. Pretty much got this Rattlesnake down. We just check his C kill and he's fit dual XLASB, so we know it's only a matter of time before he goes down here. Not a very blingy Rattlesnake, unfortunately. But yeah, big balls, this dude running these sites in a Rattlesnake in this area, you know, just like by himself. So hopefully got enough loot to cover his Rattlesnake before we kinda caught him here. I was also quite excited at the start there for the Logi actually, because it's very interesting to test the tank of this Rattlesnake and just see what it can tank. It's like Rattlesnakes are doing like what 1.2k DPS and a little bit more heat, I reckon. And sentries was 1600 DPS or so plus maybe. But yeah, it did get a bit spicy at one point, but once the Logi's here to help me, I'm in no baller, and it's just whittling away this guy down. I believe Trinity's in the Loki, I'm in the Raven, and we also have Jack in the Dramiel who got initial tackle for us, which was super nice. Just to ping off, get back, and hold them before we landed. After this, we decided to take a small gang, go through one of the wormholes. I believe MD scanned. I was in a Gila. I was curious to see how well this would perform in this environment, because I'm kind of interested in a Caldari bolt that can do like sustained DPS whilst being okay at tanking. The drone like speed towards target is a bit rough, but when it's on target, it is sweet, man. Munching through this Og Navy. Unfortunately, this was the only decent kill we got in this little room. But Jag tries it, you know, he burns back the gate because he can't get anyone. I believe we get a stiletto. There's also a Nid on field, which is interesting. We don't end up like killing anything more or himself, but we kill the Siren. The Siren nerfs pretty sweet. Trinity's got webs on the Loki, keeps that dead slow for us. We nuke it. We end up killing some of his DPS drones as well, but then they start bringing in like dreads and stuff, and it's like, yeah, this is a no-go, so we end up returning back down Maki. But the kills that we got were nice, I was very satisfied with this Gila. So after a stun of DD site, got a nice little shield booster drop, you know, the Overseer personal effect, which I guaranteed drop. Nothing too crazy, I didn't do much PvE today, or yesterday, sorry. This is a fight off today and yesterday. Then I did a bit of solo. I'm in my Caracal Navy issue here. Dual web and the ballistic computer for more tracking. It's really designed for going up against a bunch of destroyers or like frigates and just applying decently. But it can go up against certain cruisers like say like a Thorax. I'd probably try a Rupture, Moa, things like this that you can get with the range of their guns, because you have a lot of range control with this fit. The Caracal Navy is quite fast. especially with those dual T2 webs and the AB, you have a lot of range control. So I orbit 8k of this Thorax, just get his void range and force him to switch to null. Then I go out and about in my hook bill. This is a very weird Garmur that I end up fighting here. He's incredibly tanky. I don't actually end up getting this Garmur, but you'll see that I switch ammos throughout this fight, thinking that he has a reactive, and I think he does. But I end up using all my heat, and I don't actually end up being able to break him here. I do try and repair my missiles, but I didn't realize whilst repairing your missiles, you couldn't use your small ANSI. So that was a no-go, and unfortunately I had to disengage. I'm gonna check this gentleman's fit after the fight. It seems to be quite expensive. Like, I think it was like a A-type rep, energized adaptive, and a damage control. But I'm fairly certain I might have switched to reactive. So it is very tanky, and I can see that my missiles are getting different damage numbers over time. But yeah, keep on trying to switch ammos to, you know, reduce the effect of this, but it didn't seem to work, or maybe I'm just misunderstanding reactives. But yeah, I disengage from this guy. So this is against a Firetail. I always start Firetail fights at orbiting 500, and then after autos pull range from here. Now, eagle-eyed viewers might notice that we're a bit more speedy than what we normally are. I've gotten some fancy implants for the hook bell now, boys. I think we upgraded to Genos. So yeah, the hook bell's a little bit faster, got a little bit more tank, and I'm a little bit more tryhard in my hook bell. That is nice, but it's quite expensive implant set for a hook bell. But don't judge me, please. It feels so good. So yeah, once we get into a tight orbit off this Firetail, it does get some nice alphas as we're coming in. But once we orbit him like this, he's going to go down. But GF to that gentleman for sure. Okay, this fight's against Yukadesh. I used to fight this guy a lot when I was in UK, and he was in the Mar Militia. He ended up joining some null-sec block and become one of those null boys, but it seems like he's back. So he's in the medium ANSI, small ANSI hook bell, whereas I'm in the buffer and small ANSI. I feel like he would have won had he had Scourge Rage. Nova Rage was a very peculiar choice on his part. It's still a really close fight here. I guess he was just assuming that perhaps that'd be like just a small ANSI, maybe TD fit or something. But yeah, we have the shield buffer, which like does a lot of work for us, especially against Nova Rage. But once he gets through that buffer, it's quite gnarly. Saying that most of our tanks in our armor, so when the Nova hits, it hits hard, man. But we've went through a lot of his tank already. I offlined the medium shield extender just to get a lower sig. Got my AB running on hot just to perhaps mitigate some form of damage, but we take it. I continue to PvP in the area, hoping for some Mars or Minotaurs to potentially fight me. This Slicer warps into me, and this is pretty much a death sentence for a Slicer unless perhaps he's very well snaked or something. Non-snake Slicer's pretty easy to catch before it pulls range here, especially in like my hook bill, which has Genos and has a bit more agility than a normal hook bill. A second Slicer tries. I'm hoping this other Slicer and D-scan comes in, but he doesn't end up doing so. Now here I'm memeing in my light missile Corax here. This Courser comes. If he's beam, it's a hard time for me. I'm hoping that he's pulses and I keep out with his scorch range or something. He turns out to be beams, but I'm curious to see how this goes. I've what's called Scourge Fury loaded. I'm gonna do the big alphas here. But once he switches to longer range ammo, you can see that I'm taking like a lot of damage. And his DPS is much better than mine. Probably better tank too. So I line out and end up warping here. But this of course is quite fun, man. You can blap like slicers or other kind of things. I got a really expensive Garmur of this actually, which was quite interesting. That's all I got for you guys today. Nothing too eventful, sorry about that. Some nice like skirmishes and solo, but nothing too noteworthy, man. I'm still just enjoying doing a little bit of PvP in my hook bell. You know, and this Gila was a treat actually. I'll be flying a lot more of this Gila. It's a bit slow and sort of drones, but the DPS is gnarly. The Gila's pretty cool actually. You know, I don't know, bait people in a PvE site pretend to be one of them or something. But yes, I do hope you guys enjoy your Saturday, your weekend. I should get you another one of these videos out tomorrow evening. Yeah, okay, I've got work soon. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday, boys. And yeah, catch you guys in the next one.